Hey guys, it's Alex. By the time I turned 21 years old, my screen print shop did over $1 million a year. And on this channel, we share all the marketing and sales strategies that we used to grow our business in hopes we help you grow yours. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to build a reliable, predictable client acquisition system. And what I mean by that is you can know exactly what to do to get a customer. So depending on where you are in your business, you might be able to have the luxury of affording paid ads. Meaning you can just buy Facebook ads and get traffic. If you're early on in your business and you're not willing to take that risk, there are other alternatives. But before we talk about how to get these eyeballs onto your business, what we have to first determine is what your business needs. Now, every single business follows these 4 things, meaning any business in the world follows these 4 things. And yes, the screen printing industry does too. The 4 things that you have to look for is number 1, you need traffic. You need people to know about your business. Number 2, you need a sales process to nurture strangers into becoming paid customers. Number 3, you need a conversion event in which customers pay you money in exchange for services. And number 4, you need a process to fulfill that customer. In other words, for you, it'll be screen printing. Now, what that also means is there's 3 other metrics that we look for. And we call that from the click to close to resell. The click is the moment someone finds you online and clicks onto your business. This could be seeing your Instagram post, this could be seeing your Facebook ad, this could be seeing your Google ad, this could be seeing you on Google Maps. Whatever it is, it's the first time someone finds out about your business and they click on it to learn more. That's the first metric we look at. The second thing we look at is what are all the events that lead up to the close, the moment a stranger pays you money in exchange for services. And the last metric we look for is out of all the customers who bought stuff from your business, how many of them bought again? And what happened to make them buy again? And how can we manufacture that and engineer that into a predictable, choreographed process so that this person can pay you again and again? So let's start with the first 4. We have traffic, sales process, conversion event, and fulfillment. Fulfillment, most print shops have no issues with, but for the most part, most printers have issues with the first 3. And in this video, I'm gonna walk through how to build out this systematically. Now, systems means that there's a predictable way to get something done. For most print shops, if I ask you how long does it take for you to burn a screen, you can probably tell me with your exposure unit and your emulsion, it takes maybe 1 minute. Whatever that number is, you know it by heart. But if I ask you, what is your customer acquisition cost? You probably couldn't tell me. And that's most shops. And you can arguably say that your customer acquisition cost is more important than your screen exposure time. What that customer acquisition cost tells you is how much it costs you to acquire a customer. And yes, you can predict that number and you can figure that out. Once you identify this number, you can spend $300 and know that you'll probably get a customer in return. Before we get to that metric, there's different numbers that we have to look at. So far, we talked about the 4 things that you need: traffic, a sales process, a conversion event, and lastly, fulfillment. And we also talked about the 3 things that we look at: the click to close to resell. To build a system around this, we start from the very beginning, the click or traffic. Without traffic, nobody knows about your business. When we say traffic, most people think of the cars on the highway. The way that we define traffic is by people knowing about your business or finding out about your business, and you channel that traffic towards a certain direction. Most often, it will be towards a certain page. It might be a get a quote form, it might be a lead magnet, whatever it is. But the first thing we have to learn how to engineer is traffic. Now, there's 3 different ways that you can generate traffic for your website or for your business. Now, when I say traffic again, all that means is getting people to find out about your business. If a day goes by and no one new knows about your business is dying. To grow your business predictably and sustainably, every single day, there has to be a new person that finds out about your business. But the question becomes, how can you do this systematically, predictably, and with as little work on your end as possible? There's 3 ways to do this. 1, you can run paid ads, although we understand that not everyone has the luxury or knows how to run paid ads. The second thing you can do is do outreach, in which you reach out to businesses that you wanted to work with. You reach out to your past clients to see if they need more work or they know anyone else who needs more work. You reach out to schools and ask them if they need more work done, etc. And the last thing you can do is post content. No matter what you do here, all you're doing is generating traffic, generating eyeballs onto your business. So in layman terms, Traffic is just eyeballs on your business. And that's what we need to grow your business predictably. We need a source of traffic that you know day in and day out, you'll get that traffic. Whether that's paid ads, posting content, or doing outreach, it's up to you to choose. Once you figure out how to generate traffic, the next thing you want to look at is where will you direct that traffic? Most people don't think about this seriously enough. The traffic that you generate is one skill, but if you don't know where to channel the traffic, the business that you run is like a leaking bucket. If you have a bucket with a hole in it, no matter how much you fill up this bucket, the water falls out. Now imagine that water as your money. Without you understanding where to direct this traffic, you are literally losing money. So the next thing that we have to look at is, where do you direct this traffic? Where's the best place to direct this traffic? Over the past 6 years, I've split tested a single landing page every single week. And what we found was, if you push this traffic to a quote form, there are pros and there's cons. If you push this traffic to your website, there's a lot of cons, not too many pros. If you push this towards the lead magnet, it has the highest chance of getting the conversion. The conversion that we're looking for at first is simply getting their phone number, name, and email. That's all. The number one mistake that people make is they run ads, they post content, all in hopes that a single person will click on it and buy right away. Yes, that does happen, but not all the time. And since only 3% of people are ready to buy at any given time, you're missing out on 97% of the population. So that's what we want to engineer and build out. So first things first, you have to generate traffic. The second thing is we have to generate a sales process. And what we define the sales process as is simply a nurturing process. In other words, we want these people to now know about you, and now we want them to like you, and we want them to trust you so that eventually they can buy stuff from your business. But to do that, we need to get their phone number and email, which is why directing the traffic is so important. What you want to look at now is, where is all of your traffic going right now? If you do know where your traffic sources are. Now, if you have a website, I recommend installing Google Analytics onto your website. This way, you can tell where all the visitors are coming from. But if you don't have that, you should probably install that, it's free. But without that, you won't know where all the traffic comes from. Now, if you do most of your sales through Instagram, you can go on Instagram, go to the settings, and find out where that traffic is coming from. That might be from the home feed, that might be from a certain post, etc. If you're running ads, what you want to look for next is your impressions over your click-through rate. Out of all the people who see your ad, how many people are actually clicking on it? So first things first, traffic. Out of all these people who now know about your business, how many of those guys take the next step? That's what we want to engineer next. So far, this might be kind of confusing, but what we want you to know is, 1, where's your traffic source? 2, where's the traffic going? And 3, wherever you send this traffic, what is the conversion rate of that website? What we found that works best is take all the traffic, push them towards a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is something that you can give away for free in exchange for someone's phone number and email. That's it. That's all you have to do. Once you get their email and phone number, the next thing you have to do is enter them into your sales process. The first mistake that people make is they run an ad, they try to get a sale right away, and there's no bridge in between. The second mistake people do is they give the same bridge for every single person. Now, if you meet a stranger on the street, you speak to them differently than when you see your best friend on the street. And the way you want to treat this traffic is the same. So now that you can generate traffic, the second thing you need to know is that not all traffic is the same. There's cold traffic and there's warm traffic. Warm traffic are people who already know you, they like you, and they're very easy to sell to. Cold strangers, they don't like you, they're not looking for your service, and they probably don't want to buy anything from you. But how can you convert that person into becoming a paying customer? If you can learn how to do that, you'll make a lot of money. And don't worry, I'll show you how. So once you get someone's email, phone number, and name, what we want to do is start the nurturing process. To do this without being annoying, we want to think of it as, imagine if you're going to somebody and you're giving them $100. You probably wouldn't feel annoying doing it. And that's the equivalent of a lead magnet. If you go to someone and provide so much value to them, chances are they'll want to talk to you and get to know you more. A lead magnet is something that valuable that you can give away for free. A lead magnet that you build out depends on the avatar that you're going after. So for example, if you're going after restaurants, they might like something differently than if you go after coaches who want to set up an online store. Whatever lead magnet that you use should be different. It could be similar, but you should make it different. So once you have them entering into your sales process, what you want to do is set up automated chains that are personalized. So to do that, what you want to do is if you have a sales team, or if you're doing all the sales, you want to establish what's called SOPs, standard operating procedures. Once someone opts into your business, they enter your world. And to welcome them into your world, all we want to do is send them an email, a text message, or even give them a phone call to introduce yourself and see if you can help them. So what that looks like from the outside world is I'm scrolling on Facebook, I see a picture that you posted, I click on your page, and I see in your bio that there's a free shirt, or there's a chance to get free designs, or there's a chance to come up with some kind of brand strategy for my business. I click on that and I opt in to get more information. Now, I entered your world. I entered your print shop. This is the equivalent of me walking in your door at your shop. The next thing we want to do is nurture this lead to the point of sale. There's different ways that you can expedite the sales process here, but what you want to look for is to see why did they opt in. And simply reaching out to them and giving them something personalized, you can find out a lot about them. Once they opt into your page, if you reach out to people who opt into your page, chances are sometimes they won't pick up and you can't get a hold of them. What you want to do next is just follow up with them every single day and then space out your follow-ups after that. So for the first week, just keep on reaching out to them and providing so much value, and then space out your follow-ups until you can just stay top of mind. So typically, if someone doesn't convert in the first week, we move this person to long-term nurture. Whereas most shops, they just throw that person out the door and never reach out to them ever again. So at the beginning of this video, we talked about ROAS. People run ads, they hope that someone buys right away, but there's no sales process. So what I'm describing here is the sales process. You want to get their phone number, email, and name, and start sending them stuff that's valuable. That's simply what the sales process is. And then when you get a hold of them, now we can enter them into getting closer to our conversion event. Once we do get a hold of them, we want to start that sales conversation. But the mistake that people make here is that they think that people are ready to buy shirts at all times. But the truth is, the best salespeople in the world can sell to them at any time. But chances are, you probably aren't the world's greatest salesperson yet. Once you start the sales nurturing process, your goal is to get them to reply to you. So at each stage, there's a different goal. When you're generating traffic, you just want people to look at your business, click. That's it. Once you go onto your landing page, either your Instagram page or your actual website, the goal there is to get them to opt in. And then next, out of all the people that opt in, how many of them request a quote? That's the next thing that you want to look at. So to do this, we send them emails, texts, and phone calls. Our goal here is just to get them to respond so we can start the conversation. Now, depending on how good you are at sales, you can then take that conversation and move it towards the conversion event, in which you take their money in exchange for services. Now, when you enter the sales process here, what I've come to realize is that most screen print shops suck at sales. So in the sales event, there's 4 different types of salespeople. One is basically the order taker. Now, when I talk to a shop that relies solely on word of mouth, if I ask them, what is your closing rate? They'll say 100%, I'm a great salesperson. But if your closing rate is 100%, chances are 1, you aren't selling to cold strangers, and 2, you can actually increase your prices. Number 2 is the product marketer. The product marketer knows all about the different types of shirts, Gildan, Next Level, Hanes, etc. They can tell you all day about these products, but they can't sell. There's a big difference. Number 3 is the relationship seller. This person can make friends with anybody, and the moment they need shirts done, they think of them. But the level 4 salesman is a consultative seller. This person can go to you, strike a conversation, and slowly convince you to buy t-shirts. And that's who you want to be. Because if you can do that, you can sell to anybody. And if you can sell to anybody, you can sell to a bigger mass of the population. But we'll go into sales techniques in another video. Depending on what level of a salesperson you are here, you can drop that time from lead to buy. In other words, the click to close. You can condense that timeline down. But for most shops, you just want to get in touch and start that conversation. When you start this conversation here, most shops drop off and forget to follow up with them. So if you take anything from this video, take this person who opted into your world, put them into some kind of email chain that emails them 3, 4, 5 times a week, text them, send them stuff every now and then, keep in touch with them. And then lastly, we quote their jobs and then we get them to pay. To get them to pay, all we want to do is come up with the closest way of choreographing this entire sales process. If you can choreograph this sales process, that means every single customer has the same experience when they come to your shop. Or, in other words, you guys could take a stranger off the streets, bring them into your business, and they can sell on your behalf. So, the next thing we want to do is enter them into the conversion event. The conversion event here is simply the sales process. in which we talk to the business owner. We see that they have X, Y, and Z. Say they have 10 employees. If you ask them, hey, when's the last time you gave your employees anything to wear? When's the last time you gave them something to show them that you appreciate them, etc. You strike up the conversation, you plant a seed for them to buy apparel. Once they show interest in buying apparel, it's your turn to quote the job and close the deal. To engineer this and make it as scientific as possible, we break this down into different categories. First category that we look at is the traffic. To turn this into a metric, what we want to do is, out of all the people that see your post, your ad, whatever it is, how many people actually click on it, that's all we're looking for. This right here is called the click-through rate. If you're running ads, this is heavily determined by the CPM, the cost per 1,000 eyeballs. So, in other words, to improve your click, all we want to do here is look at all the people who see your post, see your company, how many click. Out of all the people who do click, how many of them give you their phone number and email? So this is the opt-in ratio of your post, of your traffic. Out of all the people that give you their email, how many people request a quote? Out of all the people who request a quote, how many actually end up buying? And out of all the people who end up buying, how many people buy again? Those are the metrics that we have to measure and look at, because we can then identify the bottleneck within the business. Now, if you look at the print world, imagine if you had an automatic press. The reason why we systematize the business in this sense is so that we can know exactly what to fix within your sales process. From the click to close, those are the metrics we look at. If your opt-in rate is low, there's no point of us working on the sales process just yet, because there's not enough leads to sell to. Once we dial in these numbers, we can then see what we need to work on next. If you think of it as your production floor, if you have 2 automatic presses, but you have a tabletop dryer, chances are you only can print so many shirts. No matter how fast your presses are, you can't print shirts any faster. So the way we look at client acquisition has to be the same exact thing. All the people that see your posts, see whatever it is, how many of them opt in, and if they're not opting in, that's what we fix first. But say you're getting a ton of traffic but no sales. The next thing we're looking at is, out of all the people that click on your website, click on whatever, how many of them convert into a quote? And then out of all those quotes, how many of them end up becoming sales? And if that's an issue right there, you're submitting quotes but nobody's buying, what we want to look at next is, what is your sales process there? How many follow-ups? What's your speed to lead? What are all these different metrics in between? And then we troubleshoot that. Or we just troubleshoot the follow-up messages. Whatever it might be, we troubleshoot that next. Once that is troubleshooted and things are running smooth, then we can focus on the closing rate, and out of all the people that close, how many people buy again. But that's step 1 into building a predictable and reliable client acquisition system. In the other videos, we'll walk you through exactly how to do certain things at a more technical level. Again, guys, my name is Alex, owner of inklaunch.com. We help screen printing shops grow their businesses. If you're interested in us building this out or walking you through this entire thing and how we can help your business, just book a call down below. I'm excited to talk to you guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.